many years. He has stocks and shit, so I'm gonna to him. I'll keep it because he's looking at it. So.
All right. Well, here we are. We're doing a quick one tonight, everybody. Those of you watching on Facebook and those of you watching this later on YouTube, none of you.
I don't even have my dice ready.
This is episode 74, pre-vacation. What that means is
the best way to
next week, Dan.
No game next week.
No game next week.
What hell?
Yeah, you'll have that.
I got a family reunion. Everybody's going on vacation.
You'll have that right there.
So who's going on vacation?
Well, I'm leaving tomorrow, but I'll be back Sunday. Clark's leaving next Wednesday. And Jason had something else going on next Wednesday anyway, so there you go.
Reunion.
Oh.
No, I look forward to it because I'm going to be seeing people I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So. And I'll get to beg them all for money. So.
All right. So now Clark's going.
I'm just there for the free food.
Brad said he would be joining us later, so I don't know what later is. But Brad's going to Brad. And there's Clark returning. Very good. Clark is now on the bottom. Hey, Jason, can you turn your camera?
Can you fuck off? Here we go. Yes, here. I don't know why it's not cooperating. Hang on.
I think you got it locked.
That's the best I can do. I don't know why it's not. It's not toggling, and I don't know why.
The company you work for hired hackers to fuck with you?
I doubt it. They're too cheap. Well,
All right. Well, if you can figure it out, that'd be great. If you can't, then you can't. That's all right. But this is episode 74, and since we're on a tight budget here, we're going to be scooting out of here somewhere around 8 o'clock because I got. Hey, he fixed it. Very good.
Aha!
Aha! So we don't need a recap other than to say that the characters, Prince Bart, the elven nobleman from the Northern Kingdom. We got Tamark, a bounty hunter from Saskatchewan. We have Shadrach, a initiate of the Aslorian Circle, and we have Michael Hammerhand, a dwarven priest of Ravensbluff. And yes, that is the Ravensbluff of the second edition published Ravensbluff setting, Ravensbluff. So, you guys are entering into the Fairy Queen's maze because you are to be tested to see if you are like smart enough and gritty enough or what have you. And you were told of some of the conditions. If you try to just fly up and out of the maze, that won't show anything, and you probably will not be either granted an audience or have even your request considered by the Fairy Queen. And so, but other than that, that was kind of, you were sent on your way, and you all were given the choice of, you wouldn't have to go through the maze, you could just go to see the Fairy Queen, but that is a way.
2023.
Oh, thank you. But if you go through the maze, if you go through the maze, then that will raise your reputation. It will raise your status in the eyes of the Fairy Queen, and Probably maybe because you were willing to play along with the Fairy Queen in her realm versus any other type of reason. So, looking before you, somewhat reminiscent to those who had went through the Evil Corn Maze some time ago, but these paths are surrounded by beautiful hedges and like flowering plants, and there is no like roof of growth, so you can see the rainbow sky above you. So unless anyone has they need any questions asked or rules clarifications or whatever, we can go ahead and start. Anybody?
Before back in the day, takes a knee, and you cast a spell.
Well, all right. We're starting off with a bang.
Spell.
What spell are you casting?
All right. So he takes his knee and says, "Grung-Golfen, Ulexim, Yoma Ut unknown." And he casts his blissful watchfulness. Bless her.
All right. That sounds like that would be in the first compendium.
Blessed watchfulness.
All right, the first thing we need to find out is if you need to roll to see if your call to have this spell granted is successful or not. Blessed watchfulness, okay. Casting time of 4, so that's easily done. Creature touched. Duration 4 hours plus 1 hour per level, no saving throw. Upon one creature for the duration of the spell, the designated sentinel remains alert, awake, and vigilant for the duration of the spell, and is surprised only on a 1. The creature resists sleep spells and similar magic. As if 4 levels or hit dice higher than his actual level, plus 2 bonus saving throws against other spells or effects that could lower his guard or force him to abandon his watch. Notes: uncommon for clerics, granted by the dwarven god Gorm-Golfin, granted by gnome. Okay, so it says right there, dwarven god, so no need to roll. You automatically are granted. So,
Open my skies of blue and clouds of white.
who do you place the spell upon?
Who's in the lead?
Well, right now, no, I don't think anyone's taking the lead, but if Tamark wants to, that he certainly can. So,
You're going to have Tamark on the back real hard. And the spell will kind of reverberate to him, like blow out the front of him and like almost iron dust.
neat. Okay, that happens, Tamark. I think you're on mute.
And like, what the hell?
And
What was
things,
that for?
and things get brighter for him. You hear crickets you wouldn't heard before, and you hear all kinds of noises you wouldn't have saw before.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I would say that if I may embellish a little bit, Pykel, as you cast the spell, you feel as if a tiny little, like you get, you have a not a flashback, but just like a tiny little memory of you finding a vein of ore in your mind, and the thrilling exhilaration that it caused you, and it and then that passes from you, and through your hand, just the way you described, to Tamark. And Tamark, as you start to like look around, you start to see things that you're pretty sure you wouldn't normally see. Levels of detail included in your senses, your hearing and your sight, even your sense of smell. And though you don't see anything, say, hidden or like magical, you do see like it's easier to see individual leaves on these hedges, or hearing the scrape of someone's foot upon the pavers that make up the path that you're about to tread. So whatever Pykel did to you, it kind of raised your senses a bit and your ability to...
Do I smell any new smells that I didn't before?
No, but they seem like almost a little more intense. Like instead of walking past a coffee maker, now it's like you're sniffing the cup as you're holding it. So, and it confers upon you exactly what it says in the spell description.
Is there any rocks or pebbles or anything on the ground?
No, it's very.
Is it dirt?
The term isn't clean, but there's a word for like immaculate clean. I just don't know what the word is, and so it's immaculate. Like the pavers, they're all flat, and so the path. Imagine, if you will, a not yellow brick road, and it's not yellow and it's not made of bricks, but it's made of larger stones that have been cut to be flat and somewhat polished. And there's Prince B. So, and as I said, you get to, you can walk in any fashion you want down this maze. But now, Clark, you need to roll me
save or spell.
You need to roll me if I can find it here. Okay. You need to roll, so what, hold on. Variation from actual level. Oh, okay. So let's go back to here. What the fuck is that? Okay, roll a D20, please.
14.
And what level are you?
8.
Okay. Okay, so for the purposes of casting this spell, you feel as if you had just a tiny bit of like a weird, more powerful emanation than you had thought, and you realize that the duration of the spell is actually going to last an extra hour. Okay. So that just happened. And then did I hear Shadrach say he was going to cast a spell as well?
I changed my mind on shape-shifting.
Okay. And what do you change into?
A bar.
A bar?
A bar.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're saying bear. Okay.
Yes.
So, I have a bear. Bing. There he is, a little medium-sized black bear. Ha ha. And I will take a picture of this because I think it's cool. I found this not through D&D, but some like little weird trinket website. And you can buy like 100 of them for like $5 or something. And I was like, well, I only need one. So
That sounds cool though, an army of bears.
I paid, but if you were to try to find this in a D, it would probably cost us about the same, even from like a Troll and Toad or something. Okay. So let's put this.
I figured a bear's got good hearing and good sense of smell, so I'll just put that to use. Otherwise, I don't think there's. I'm kind of leery to cast any spells right now.
Let's turn it so you can actually see. Okay. Is there a flash on this motherfucker? All right. Up to him. Okie dokie. So, what would you like your all's marching situation to be?
I'll be first.
Tamark would like to be first, and your dog, right? The little.
Yep.
What's the dog's name? Flippy.
Flippy.
Isn't the dog's name Flippy? Apparently not. Okay.
Cheese slicer.
Marching middle. Cheese slicer?
He said he wanted to be called Teeth Slicer last time.
Oh, that's right.
That's keep a good note now.
That's what he said, but I don't know if. Okay. And then.
I called him Joey, and then he said, "Hey, I don't like that name. I want to be called Teeth Slicer." So.
Teeth Slicer. Remember what was that lady's name?
Tea Slicer?
The lady we've been following. Relentless phase.
So, did you say that to the dog, or are you saying that to me?
You can talk, so.
Right. So Cobb, am I talking for the dog, or are you talking for the dog?
For the time being, I will talk for the dog, but you will control its actions and things like that. Unless otherwise stated, the dog will just be nearby.
Right.
And
so Clark asked the dog a question, but you didn't answer.
Oh, okay. What was the question?
I said, keep a nose out for that lady. So,
What lady?
the lady that led us here.
Oh, okay. He starts
What?
sniffing around. He's like, no, nothing to her here.
I'm just play all the cards.
Of course, I'm not a tracker. I'm a guard dog. So don't get too close. I'll tell you a new one.
Don't get no ideas. Let's get moving.
Okay, so Bart said he would kind of wanted to go in the middle. Any place specifically that Shad Bear or Pikel want to be?
I'll go second.
You want to be okay? So we got Tamark with Teeth Slicer. Shad Bear is second. Bart, do you want to be equal with Shad Bear or behind him?
Wherever behind.
Bart, do you want to be equal to Shad Bear or behind him?
I'll be behind him.
Okay, and then we'll put, until Pikel says different, he can bring up the rear. All right. So, do you do anything else before you head into the maze? Hearing nothing, you enter. Dun, 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 dun. It's a beautiful day. The flowers are singing and the birds are looking at the sun. And then they switch back off, and then the birds sing, and the flowers turn their faces towards the sun like a 1920s cartoon, like you're playing that game with the teacup or whatever.
Was there lots of birds?
A few.
Is there almost always a bird somewhere to be seen?
I mean, it's random. I wouldn't
All
say
right.
they're not. You could definitely. I would let you know if it looked suspicious, like they were every 20 feet or something. And they don't particularly necessarily like are staring at you all either. Some of them are, but some of them are just going about their business.
All right.
All right. So you turn a corner, and in front of you is a pool. A pool that extends from edge to edge and about 20 feet across to the other side. The pool is calm from where you are. You have like a 20 feet until you would theoretically step into this pool. It sort of conforms to the path, so you could call it a square pool if you like. And from this distance, you're not sure about anything else other than there appears to be water in it. So, Tamark has his hand up.
Hey, Shad, can you talk to these birds here? And if so, would that be considered cheating, do we think?
The bear just looks at you and chicken just looks at you. Unless I can speak.
Off the top of my head, I don't think you have the power of speech as an animal.
But the dog does.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Let's see here.
I'm indifferent either way, but I'm just saying the dog.
Sure. I like it. Make me a straight intelligence check, please.
All right.
Start thinking you got a friend in me.
30. 15 plus 15.
All right. So you do what you say that you did. You kind of look up at Tamark and kind of lick your lips and kind of nom nom nom. But then you think, Teeth Slicer can talk. I wonder if I can. And you start to be like, and nothing. And then you go, I can speak. And there you are.
After, yeah, I can talk to the birds if I want to.
One of the birds you hear go, no, you can't.
The bear will just lick his lips. This is not a normal place for me, Kmart. Nothing here. I'm not in connection with anything here.
I just thought it was worth a try.
Tell me to attack. Tell me to attack that bird, Master. Tell me to attack that bird. And he's like, T-Slicer seems like he's really, as they say, chomping at the bit to go after this insolent, multicolored bird that's sitting there looking at you all with disdain.
He's slicing at the teeth?
He is.
No. At least not yet.
T-Slicer turns around and looks at Shadbear and goes, "Hey, nice threads."
Thank you. I like this shape.
You don't have to brag.
I'm not.
Make me a charisma check, please.
23.
He looks back at his tail and goes,
How far across is the water? How big's the pool?
20 feet across, and the path is like 20 foot wide. It's a very large path, so.
We can go left or right around it, correct?
No, it goes to the edge of the path.
Oh, I see.
Or just like the first thing we ran into, it's like straight we ran into it.
You walked for a little bit, and then you made a right turn, and then 20 foot ahead, there's the pool.
Is there like leaves on these bushes and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over and grab a leaf, but I'm not gonna pull it off, and I'm gonna look around for like the birds and see if they give me a look if they're around, or say something like or some shit like that.
Make me a perception check, please, Tamar.
That's what, a 30?
D30 plus your intelligence. Meanwhile, Shadbear has his paw up.
I'm gonna walk up to the edge of the water and sniff it.
Nice. Okay, so Tamar, you go over and you touch one of the leaves and you're looking around. What'd you get on your perception check?
28.
Okay. You don't see any birds that seem to be paying attention to you. And when you touch the leaf, nothing happens.
I'm going to pull a single leaf off and then go over to the water.
Okay, in the meantime, Shadbear walks up to the water and does what?
I sniff the water.
Okay, when you bend over to look into the water, you see your reflection. This water is really crystal clear, and you can see what appears to be a sack in the water about 10 feet down.
I'll say there's something in the water. I'm not going to grab it.
Hold on, I think I might have something that we might be able to use to grab it.
So Tamark, when you pull the leaf off, you hear, "Ow."
Oh, I'm sorry.
I need you to make a charisma check, please.
$13, so that'd be
13, okay. You don't take any physical damage. But when you look, you see blood coming from this leaf.
Way to go.
That really sucks. Well, that thing's definitely alive.
I would.
Everything here is alive. Haven't you
Yeah,
realized
but
that?
or, I'm sorry, probably sentient.
Everything here is sentient. Everything here is connected. I've made that much of a assumption.
The water starts to turn red, as if a. Do you continue to look into the watershed, Bear?
I back away.
Okay.
When you start to turn red, I back away.
And as you back away, the water turns red, and then the water like changes from water into just a continuation of the path. The water's all gone. There's no remnants that there was ever water there, and you may or may not continue on your leisure.
So when I sniffed it, did it smell like water?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
After you, Kmart.
I'm gonna like test it to see if it's solid or not.
Sure. You poke it with either your blowgun or your sword or whatever, and it sounds like a solid pathway. So
All right. Well, I'm gonna carefully traverse that 20 feet, and
as you start to move away, Michael, you're in the back. You hear, "Ah, my leaf! My leaf! Ow!" Coming from approximately where Tamark was, whatever he was doing over there.
so, uh,
Do you do anything about it?
I guess I'll try to cast Cure Light Wounds on it.
So you walk over there and you just kind of start putting your hands on the bush, on the hedge.
I will touch the bleeding branch with a little finger, and I will cast Cure Light Wounds on it.
Okay.
Wooden roam.
Okay, I want to, let's see here. I want to be generous. So, you realize that, well, do you have the healing proficiency?
Think so. I don't have woodworking, so maybe I don't have fixed wood.
No, you do not. Okay. That's perfect. Okay. So you cast a first level spell on this shrubbery.
And rubbery.
And I need you to roll a d20.
14 is like the middle of the road today.
Okay. The spell goes off. You feel no change in the amount of mana that you release, and the blood dries up and goes away, and a new leaf sprouts where the old one was, and you hear, "Ah."
He looks at the bush and he follows his friends.
Thank you. All right. And you continue on. And you follow this path. There are no multiple different ways you can go. It's just a single way. And you go forward and you go right, and then you go left, and then you make another left, and you see a single rose growing out of a crack in the pavers in this
You pick
path.
that one too?
Hey, don't go plucking.
Yeah, I thought a rose for the prince.
Alright.
I let the record show that a bear is face bombing.
Chad says, keep your hands to yourself, Tamar.
I wasn't joking. Hey,
I'm not.
T-Slicer turns around and he growls at Chad Bear and says, "Don't threaten Master."
I'll go up on 2 feet and be like, I warned you, keep your hands to yourself. I'm not going to die for your ignorance.
I would like Chad Bear to make a charisma check, please.
Uh, 23 again.
Okay. T-Slicer's like, "You gonna let him talk to you like that?" And he kind of goes behind Tamar. Hold on, Shadrach has his hand up.
Alright, I'm shape-shifting again.
All right, hold on. So, Tamar, do you have a response to your guard dog, or do you
I'm
just...
just looking at him, shaking my head.
Okay, so I need you to make a charisma check now, Tamar.
Me?
Yeah.
$26.
So T-Slicer like pokes around Tamar and goes, "Yeah, that's right." Anyway, Shad Bear, what are you changing into?
I'm changing back into a human.
Okay.
Michael up his water flask and watered the rose a little bit. Let's not stand there staring at flowers.
So you went to the front, Michael?
Yeah, I just walked up. I took out my water flask and watered scoop of water, and I watered the flower a bit. Let's not stand around and stare at this rose all day.
Okay. I would like Michael to make a charisma check, please.
All right. 16 plus 9 is 25, right?
Okay. So as you're putting some water out, you see this rose change into what appears to be a tiny woman wearing like a rose-colored bathing suit, and you see she produces a bar of soap, and her hair is wrapped up in a bathing cap, and she starts to take a shower.
Wow. Just thought I'd water the flowers, but let me know when you're done.
So when you say that, she's like, she goes, "Oh my, don't look!" And she turns and tries to cover herself.
He'll politely look the other direction like a goodly priest.
Okay, and then when you do, everyone else sees that the rose woman turns back into a rose, and then it kind of sinks back down into the pavers very slowly, and the path is cleared. You may continue.
All right, well, I lead on then.
So I need no one to roll as T-Slicer goes over to where the rose was and starts sniffing, and it looks like he's going to piss there.
No.
And he like turns real quick and is like, "Oh man." All
I
right.
do not believe she's into that kind of kinky ass shit. Or maybe she is, but she would have to ask first.
I just wanted to mark her. That way I knew who she was when I found her later, that's all.
Yeah, we ain't coming back later.
Aww. All right, so you guys continue.
Yes, we did.
And you go through a couple more lefts and rights until you come to a billowing cloud, vaguely humanoid shaped, sitting at a desk apparently doing paperwork. You are 20 feet away, and as you come around the corner and look at this, this entity does not look up and says, "Hold on, I'll be with you in a minute. Have a seat."
Look around. Chairs, or
Yeah, is there any chairs?
There does not appear to be any chairs.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna sit on the ground. I tell T-Slicer, have a seat.
He does, right there next to you. What
I
do the
guess we
rest?
should all sit down then.
What do the rest? What do the rest of you do?
I'll sit down.
Okay. Anybody else?
not sample sauce.
Okay. So after you all sit down, a short little time goes by, if there was time here, and then the entity appears to look up, even though it's vague. There's no features. It's just like a cloud-shaped humanoid, and it says, "I've been told to tell you that you're doing great so far. You are 1/3 the way through the maze. The Queen is anxious to see how you do. Good luck." And you see he gets up, or it gets up, and kind of floats off into the sky, and the desk and all the papers disappear, and the way is clear. You may proceed.
I guess I get up and continue on.
Man, did I eat the wrong mushrooms this morning?
Wrong? I think you ate the right ones. Or we all ate the right ones.
I didn't make the breakfast.
Okay. So, you continue on. And you continue on, and this seems like you walk a little bit further. You're going down this long stretch. And several birds seem to fly back and forth across from the hedges, not like blocking you or coming close to you. Just as you walk, they seem to be going back and forth. And it kind of reminds Shadrach and Pykel of the Teosinte that were going about the other maze. The ones that tried to grab stuff off you and flitter away. But these are birds, and these birds are toucans that are all completely red, and sparrows that are white with black spots, and a little weird looking lizard looking bird that, if you knew of such a thing, I would tell you is a miniature pterodactyl. And Tamark has his hand up.
So I'm going to take out the mushroom and break little pieces of it off. So I'm going to stop and break off little pieces of the mushrooms and throw it out like I'm trying to feed the birds.
Remind me how you obtained the mushroom and what its purpose was?
It was the mushroom, the heads. We had a couple heads off of those mushroom things.
Okay, so the Goombas.
Yeah, the Goombas.
Okay. Okay. Roll me a wisdom check, please.
$22.
Okay. When you throw the Goomba parts out there, when you let go of them and you throw them on the ground, they like bounce, and then they start to roll, and then they roll a little bit further to where they're about 30 feet away, and then they form up a medium-sized Goomba. So instead of having these small smaller Goombas. This Goomba is like large. And it looks up and it says, I need all of you to make a charisma check, please, and I will ask for numbers. And we will start with, on the top left, Shadrach.
I rolled a 1.
Oh no! Implode! Roll again.
I rolled a 2.
Well, it's not a 1, so...
But
that would still be a failure. So
Yeah.
you have a not a critical fail, but a serious fail. Okay, so that would be 1 plus failure. 1 plus what would that be? 17? 2 plus your charisma?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we will go to Tamar.
I have a 24.
Okay, that's a success. And then we will go to Bart.
2.
2 plus your charisma is 15. 15, okay, that's just a plain failure. And
Yay.
Pykel.
And Michael rolled a net 20.
Oh, explosion!
Woo! Yeah, we needed that.
Oh, I rolled 18.
So that's 38 plus,
9.
makes 47.
Damn.
So that is a serious success. So that's,
So
those two cancel.
put on a audible or visual glisten.
So
Because we're in the Feywild.
the conflagration of diametrically opposed emotions that you all instill upon this instantly created life form of the Mega Goomba causes it to stand still, and it looks like it's dumbfounded. And so the only question I have is, what do you all do? And we'll start with Tamar because you are closest. And let me make sure I have this description for you. It is dumbfounded. It looks dazed. It looks like it's confused and having a hard time processing what it's looking at. What do you do?
I would say, hey, little fella, follow us.
So,
Big fella. I guess it's big for a Goomba. How big is it?
Yeah, it's medium sized.
hey, would you like some traveling companions?
Make a charisma check, please.
$15.
Okay, it has no response. Shadbear, if you
I'm
wish...
a person now.
I'm sorry, Shadrach, if you would like to do something, you
I
may.
remain completely still.
Okay, and then we go to Bart. If you would like to do something, you may.
I'm just waiting to be published.
And then we go to Pykel. If you would like to do something, you may.
No, we just talking to it and say, hey, little guy, just follow us.
Okay, I need you to make a charisma check, but there will be a negative applied. So give me a total.
Alright, 15 plus 9, 24.
Okay, and with the -4, that makes a 20. That is a failure. So, the Mega Goomba seems to be either waiting for you all to do something or is unable to do something, and you're not sure which.
Is it blocking our way?
Walk around it.
No. Theoretically, if it remained where it is in the same condition, you could walk past it on either side.
Let's walk. Let's let him figure it out on his own. Let's get out.
I'm going to try to walk past them.
Yep.
All right. So
Don't try anything, teeth slicer.
T-Slicer looks up. I wouldn't dare, Master. I love you. And you guys walk past the Mega Goomba, who was stunned into
Submission.
inaction, according to the dice roll that you all had. All right.
You should be glad I'm so good looking, no?
Yeah, that's probably not it. Okay. So you continue on for a little bit more, and then you see a sign that is hanging in midair in the middle of the path, and it says, break time. What do you all do?
Guess I'm gonna sit down and pull out something to eat and drink.
Okay, that's what Tamark's doing. Anybody else?
Can I give some to my dog too?
Okay, let's go with who's next. Shadbear, do you, Shadrach, do you have
Are there any
anything?
birds around?
Roll me a perception check.
Ooh! I rolled a 28, so that's
43.
43.
You look and you see a bird that's kind of on your left, just a couple feet away. And this bird is
okay.
like a blue bird, but it's like all the way blue, including its talons and its beak and its eyes. It's like a Smurf bird.
But it's not sitting on his shoulder, right?
And it's like fat. And it's wearing a vest. And it looks at you and says, how you fix for blades, Matt?
Fixed for what?
Blades.
Blades?
Yeah.
I don't carry any blades currently. Thank you.
You're welcome. How about you give a hungry bird something to eat?
All right. I'll reach into my sack or my pouch and produce a good berry. Here you go. Enjoy.
Make a charisma check with advantage, please.
Well, that's a 26.
Did you make it with advantage?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 26.
All right. So it's flying, and it's like doing this weird thing where it's flying like Woodstock in random circles, and because it's holding the good berry with one of its talons, and then so it's like kind of off kilter as it's flying around eating this good berry, and it's like going, good berry, yum, yum, and the red is starting to spread all over it, and it turns into a purple bird, and then it flies back over and sits in the tree, and it starts to clean itself, and it was like, thank you.
You're most welcome.
And then as it sits on the tree, it starts to change slowly back to its blue form. Bart, what would you like to do at this time?
Carry on. I'm trying to do this thing.
So you're not going to take a break while everyone else is?
No, I want to walk on.
Okay, so Bart walks forward, leaving Tamark and Shadrach. Michael, what do you do?
I'm going to sit down and take a break, put my feet up.
All right.
I'll let Bart know. Don't get impatient.
To what?
I said, don't get impatient. If all
Take
the...
a break. Come on, let's go.
Sit down. It's break.
Get out of here as possible.
So you guys see Bart walk off and go around the corner, and he's gone.
You're making a mistake. Wait.
You keep going, Bart?
Part of the test.
Around the corner, I'll wait.
Does he get out of our sight?
Yeah, on the way.
Oh.
Raise him.
The bluebird looks at you, Shadrach, and says, he doesn't understand, does he?
I fear not.
Oh well, he'll learn. They all do.
May I ask you a question?
Well, since you're being so polite, yes.
Are there any truly dangerous creatures that we might face in the near future?
He kind of, suddenly you see a little like a white wrap appear on its head. And it pulls out this tiny little manila envelope out of thin air. And it takes the manila envelope and tears it. And he says, or actually he holds it up to his forehead and he says, Will they encounter any dangerous creatures? And then he takes the envelope and tears the end of it off and blows into it. And he he pulls it out and he says, what would you ask and expect to get an answer from a little bird that is not a fortune teller?
There we go.
And then the envelope and the little turban disappear, and it goes back to cleaning itself on the branch. And then the sign starts to blink, and then it kind of goes away. I guess break time's over.
All right, well, let's go.
All right, get up then.
So
Get up.
your dog's over there dropping a deuce.
Ah.
And then it looks up at you and goes, what? It said break time.
Yeah, not break one off time.
Just then, you see Grimace come walking down the path, and he kind of looks over his left shoulder and goes, "Oh, hello there," let Bart, even though you guys can't tell who he's talking to. And he comes around and he's got one of those like a broom and one of those things that when you press it down on the ground, it turns into a dust thing.
Dustpan?
Yeah, dustpan. He collects the turds and then kind of keeps on walking, and then heads into the hedge. And he's gone.
All right, well, I guess we can move on now, people.
All right. So
Unless Kmark objects, I'm going to walk side by side with Kmark from now on.
So Teeth Slicer's like, "Oh, scared now, huh?"
No.
You don't. It's okay. You don't have to act all tough.
So, I'm moving along.
All right, yeah. So when you guys go around the corner, you can see Bart there, just kind of wasting time or doing whatever he's doing. And I suppose by your reaction that you don't interact with him and you keep walking.
Yeah, I guess. He's just standing there unless he says something. We'll just walk past and continue on.
Stay together, Bart. Please.
There you go, Fox.
So we continue on.
All right. So this time you actually do have a choice. You can go left or right.
Is it like a T or is
Yes.
it a Y?
It's a T.
So I look left and I look right.
They both stretch off a few feet before the one that goes left turns right and the one that goes right turns left, as if they're both going in the same direction. And Shadrach has his hand up.
Do the plants look different to the left or the right?
They do not.
Okay.
I sniff the air. Do I smell a different fragrance coming from one way or the other?
Your top lip.
Let's see, make me a, make me a perception check. But I have a adjustment in my head, and we'll see if it helps.
29.
How about that? It does help. So when you sniff the air to the left, it smells like what you would recognize as a freshly dug grave. When you smell the air to the right, it smells like sweet cream, just skimmed off the top of milk that was gathered.
Alright. Hey, that spell that you cast on me, that seems to be helping me. So it smells like there's a grave that way. It smells like fresh sweet butter cream this way. So what, we should go this way or do we want to go see Dad?
Dad says, I think we should go towards the grave.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll look at the dog and say, don't be scared.
The dog looks up and he says, "Oh, I'm scared. What the hell is sweet cream?"
As I turn left and cautiously walk down that way to look around the corner, I explained to him what sweet cream is.
He says, "That sounds terrible. Let's go to the dead part."
We are going towards the dead part.
Oh, good.
So I cautiously walk down that way and peer around the corner.
Okay. So when you peer around the corner, you see a California king-size bed with two bookcases that take up the rest of the space between the bed and the hedges, meaning you couldn't pass in between anywhere on this path to get past it. Bart has his hand up.
Is the center perfect or is it purple? Oh. Matches.
Somebody. What do you guys do?
I was going to examine the books, or see what books are on the shelf and what they say.
Okay,
I just walked down.
so Michael approaches. That's fine. Shadrach has his hand up.
Does it still smell like death?
Well, you sniff as who you are, and you can make me a perception check.
$32.
You don't seem to smell what was said to you by Tamark.
Is the bed made?
Yes, it has, and now that you're looking at it, so Tamark, is there anything you would like to do at this time?
I'm just going to walk down there and I'm going to stay at a little distance to see if anything happens
Okay.
as people walk up to things.
Be careful, Michael.
And Bart, anything from you?
I just followed her.
Okay. So, first thing we do is Michael walks up and starts looking at what may or may not be on these bookcases. And what he sees are leather-bound tomes with the names of what he recognizes as dwarven fairy tales. The Axe's Hammer. The Mill of Old Griswold, among others. Things,
Well, I think I'm looking at an illusion here. Somebody come up here.
things that you recognize.
I'm going to just come look at these books. Tell me what you...
As Shadrach looks at the bed, he notices that the bed appears to be of the most exceptional quality. The wood is polished and stained. It has bas relief on the sideboards depicting scenes that he would have to examine that much more closely if he wanted to take the time. The headboard itself is like 6 foot tall. But what you do notice is that it looks like it was a 4-poster bed, but that the poles have all been sawed off, and the linen like roof or whatever is not there.
I'm examining it, but I'm not touching anything.
Right.
Shit, if it's next to me, look at those books. Tell me what you see.
So Tamark had his hand up.
I was gonna go look at the books then.
Sure. Okay. So when you get up there, you see what looks like fairy tales from your childhood. An old man in his boat. The tree with no name. And
And what language do you speak?
one of your favorite stories from when you were a child, Trumple Thinskin.
So what language can you read?
Talking to Michael?
Yeah.
Because I can read common like everybody else, and Dwarven and Elvish.
So what language are you reading?
It's an illusion. I'm seeing Dwarven stuff.
Yeah, but what language is it?
It's in Dwarven, right?
I'm seeing Southern Tongue.
It looks like Dwarven to me, so this is all an illusion. I probably wouldn't touch anything unless we get out of here.
Well, we can't go past it.
You can't get out of here.
It's completely blocking us.
When we came in,
Just couldn't do anything else. Do
Both of you notice that your eyes are drawn to a book that says bedtime stories.
I pull my sword out and I try to take it off the shelf with it.
Okay? So you take your sword, and when you touch the book kind of falls out. Even you just barely touched it, and yet the book still fell out, and it hits the bed, and it falls open. And I need you and Pykel to save versus spells.
Number 15, which is well good for me.
Um,
That's two, right?
I tied it. Is that a win or a loss?
You get
Well-
+2.
Normally, it would be a success, but this is magic cast by someone other than your average magic using individual. So, if you didn't roll, let's see. If you didn't roll an 18 or higher, you fail.
So I fail.
Both of you begin to climb into the bed and make yourself comfortable.
No. Yeah.
Got like a plus on stuff like that. My save versus spell is 8. So I don't know if that matters.
No, what I said was you have to roll at least an 18.
Alright. I'm comfortable then.
And so you both are, but as you guys are climbing into the bed, Bart and Shadrach both want to do something. So Bart, you said something first. What are you wanting to do?
I reach out to grab Michael by the back of his arm and pull him away from the ball. If I can.
Okay. He
Hey, I'm the big spoon!
He seems to be like growing tired and like he's like, oh, come on. He really just wants to lay down and go to sleep. But
Don't get in that bed.
he's not fighting and resisting violently. It's just more like a whining. So now you're holding back this whiny dwarf from getting some well-deserved rest. It's almost as if the time that you all have spent here, or lack thereof time, is catching up, and all of the movement and action and energy that you've expended is now taking its toll, and it's being allowed to put its influence upon your bodies. But you are being kept from a nice sleep, Pikel. Okay, so Shadrach, what are you doing?
When I see Bart restrain Pikel, or I'm going to do the same thing to Tamar. I'm going to just take him by the arm and say, no.
Okay, and you kind of get the same thing. He's kind of like, oh, but what? I'm tired.
Man.
I'm tired.
Look
Okay,
Come on, just a minute.
I just need a nap.
like bed. No.
so whenever you kind of pull Tamar back, and you're convinced that he's just kind of the dog hops up there and does 3 turns and goes right to sleep. So now what do you do? And so until something changes with Pikel and Tamar, you are under the influence of this very powerful magic. It is magic that you will not find in any book, so therefore, good luck with that.
I cast the spell.
Uh-oh! Bart's going to cast a spell.
Oh, I ain't got much choice.
All right. Well, hold on here. What spell are you casting?
Dispel magic.
Oh, boy.
On the
Okay.
bed.
All right. So you are up here. So I need
I'll
you
be
to
right
roll
back.
it. I need you to roll a d20 for me, please, Bart.
19.
Wow. Okay. So that's amazing. Okay. Let me refresh my memory with Dispel Magic. Because as you're casting Dispel Magic, you feel a power surge as if your arcane mystical energy is being enhanced by the ambient chaotic nature of this realm. And hold on here, hold on.
I changed to contact with.
Okay. Okay, this is awesome. Roll a... So with the wild magic,
Go, Bart, go.
what level are you, Bart? Mage.
15.
50. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So, wow. That's amazing. Okay. Roll a d20. So you cast the spell, verbal and somatic, and
18.
yeah, roll a d4, please.
3.
All right. So for the next 3 rounds, this bed, or whatever this is, ceases to function. The spell effects upon Pykel and Tamark are gone. You regain your sense of self. You realize that this is
The charge, yeah, wasn't it?
a trap of some kind. And Bart, you realize that
I'm having a sneezing fit.
yeah, you even without the boost, you would have succeeded. But technically, what happened was you got a 4-level boost from the Wild Surge, so you pretty much blasted as the magic is dispelled and these fireworks come firing off this thing, and the bed like is suddenly unmade. Not like destroyed, but it looks like somebody's been sleeping in it. And the dog wakes up and hops down, and the 2 bookcases kind of like slide in behind the bed, exposing pathways for you all to proceed.
I hurriedly walk, or I run through the openings as fast as I can.
Hurry!
Let's get out of here. I really did.
Yelling for the dog to follow quickly. Come on, T-Slicer, let's get out of here real quick. Quick.
I thought Big Two better.
He's like, yeah, let's go quick. Yeah, I like going quick. Yeah. All right.
So we
Shad reacted to the magic by sneezing.
And you all make it past this encounter. Well done, Bart.
Good job, Bart. Excellent.
All right. You end up meeting back up with. There looks like
smoke that's come back.
the trail, the path, leads to a pinwheel in the middle of the trail. The pinwheel looks like a pinwheel of a rainbow that's circling and circling.
Is it putting off rainbows or?
It's just,
It's
it looks like a rainbow that's been painted onto a big circle. So it's got a spiral, and if you keep looking at it, it looks like you're like moving towards it.
Is it moving?
But you
Is
can
it
tell,
spinning?
you can tell it's not moving toward you. It doesn't appear to be moving. It's just the way it's painted.
It's obscuration.
So, but there does not appear to be any way to get past it right now. So,
All right.
let's start like we do. Whoever's up front, which we think is Tamark and the
I
dog.
check the track.
Remember, I'm a side by side.
Yeah.
Tamark.
I'm not staring at it. I tell the dog, don't look at it.
Let's create a breeze, I say.
All right, so Bart, I got you. You're going to go up and try to find a trap on this thing?
I'm just looking for any signs of a trap.
Shadrach tries to stop him. Wait.
What?
Wait.
What do I do?
I have an idea.
Make a way.
I have an idea.
Go ahead, Shadrach.
Shadrach will... How tall is this thing?
Oh, it's only about 10 or 12 foot tall. It's big enough to take up the, the pathway. So you got to think it's like 20 foot in diameter. So maybe it's like 20 foot tall because it's 20 foot wide. And
I'm going to walk up to it. I'll tell everybody else, stand back in case this kills me. I'm going to walk up to it and go...
All right.
I'm going to blow on it.
I would like you to make a charisma check, please.
All right. 29.
Okay. So as you do that, everyone sees the swirling rainbow start to shimmer, and then it changes into a big set of lips, and it kisses you.
Shadrach blushes.
And,
Now I'm going to tell Vanessa on you.
and then it goes.
You say that, Shadrach looks around and he's got death in his eyes. You change his mood immediately. He looks around at you like, I'm going to fuck you up.
You know what I like? Hold on, wait a second. I like this because on my screen, Jason is in the top left corner and Dan is in the top right. And it looked like Jason was looking at Dan like, I'm going to fuck you up. It was perfect. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I didn't see it because I was looking away from the pinwheel. So.
Shad will say rather timidly, may we pass?
And the pinwheel flutters, grows a pair of wings, and then legs come out, and it runs past all of you the opposite direction.
What the fuck?
You may proceed.
I hate fairies.
I don't like this place.
Shadrach will say to Tamar, keep Vanessa's name out of your mouth.
So I get kicked by rainbow fairies now, huh?
You know nothing of me and Vanessa. Keep it out of your mouth.
It was only a joke, like us.
You joke too much.
I think you take things too seriously. And I walk on.
All right, so you continue on. You make a left and a right, and then you see a life-size gold coin, a life-size silver coin, a life-size copper coin, and then a normal-sized wooden door. It's free. All these things are freestanding. Theoretically, you could like go underneath where the coins don't come together, but you couldn't go around the edges against the hedges if you wanted to just go past these things, but you realize that that might not be the point.
All right.
So the coins are like this.
The coins are man-sized.
Man. Oh, you said life size, so I didn't know what that meant.
Oh, well, okay, so yeah.
Man size.
So they're man size. Okay.
6 foot tall, 6 foot in diameter, round, coins that from 20 feet away appear to be fully metal and probably weigh a bunch. And then this wooden door.
Alright. I'm gonna say, I'm getting a little tired of this fairy shit. And, you know, he covers one eye and puts an ear over his head. And he says, No, notice, enigma, hayat, mobile, cast, detect illusion.
Alright, Pikel, roll a d20, please.
Right in the middle again, 16. I guess 16's high.
What level are you? What level are you, Pikel? 7?
8.
8. And you cast Dispel Illusion?
Detect illusion.
I'm sorry, what was the exact name of the spell?
Detect illusion.
Detect. Okay. Okay, let's see. There it is. Okay, so that says this is an uncommon spell. So, make a religion check, please.
Alright. 15 plus my intelligence.
Well, you should have a religion score.
Oh yeah, plus religion.
Yeah.
This.
Okay.
Here's shooting for.
Alright, so the spell goes off. It goes off at one level higher than it would normally, although that doesn't apply. So this says it enables you to see any illusion for what it is and banishes phantasms from the caster's mind. Further, while the spell lasts, the priest can allow one creature per round a new saving throw versus spell. Okay. So, you do not see any illusions.
Alright. Yes. 4.
Bart has his hand up.
I'm dancing with one of the guys holding.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand.
What you saying?
I couldn't understand you. What is it?
I'm going through my bag of holding trying to find my gem. What you saying?
Okay. All right. Well, I seem to remember you having one.
Yep. I'll make it dramatic and take the time. Ow. Alright, I might get a hold of that, pull it out and look at the coins in the door.
Okay. Roll me percentile.
20.
All right. So it just says it requires 1 round to scan a 200 square foot area, 2 rounds to view a 100 square foot area in a careful way. So what information are you trying to glean from using this magic item?
Find proper way to go, or I guess I'm just trying to find out which one goes through and which one's a trap.
All right. So the gem of true seeing reveals to you as you peer through it. At first you see the 3 coins in the door. And then as the gem starts to put forth the magic and bring things into focus, you see something that you did not expect to see. You see This is real. It's real.
It's real.
And it reminds you of a very old, ancient, deep magic. A magic that is the reality bending kind.
When I say we the door, I think they want to test our greed. Copper.
Hold on a second.
The kind of magic that
I agree.
someone would use if they were powerful enough to bend everything to their will exactly as they want to.
There's so many fucking okay. I look around the path. I look back down where we came from, with Jen, and just stand around us a little bit.
Make me a
Trying to see
perception.
if I can see who's doing.
Make me a perception check, please.
20.
You're rolling a D30.
No, 18.
Rolling a D30 plus your intelligence.
11. Well, my intelligence is, well, 18. So 29.
Okay.
Yeah. 29.
As you take the time to look around, all of you see Bart with this gem he's holding up, looking through it. It looks to be, I mean, though a fairly decent sized gem, say about the size of a D30, it doesn't look like it's super shiny or super, it doesn't look like it's like the greatest gem you've ever seen. And Bart, the gem does not reveal any other thing other than it already revealed to you.
Alright. Let's go knock on the door.
Was there something else somebody wanted to do while he's doing that? Okay.
Do we go up to the door or?
All right, so Bart, you go up to the door?
Yeah.
Okay. You
I put
approach.
the gem in a pouch,
Okay, yeah. Then what?
and I walk up the door and I knock on the door 3 times.
Okay. And you hear, who is it?
Bart, we want to pass.
There's a pause. And I need you to say versus spell, Bart.
11.
Okay, once again, this is that ancient magic that is ultra powerful. You need an 18 or better natural.
Okay.
So, you don't, just for a second, you get this feeling like you're having an idea. And you're
Is it
thinking,
enchantment?
you're thinking about pancakes. No, it is not an enchantment.
Okay.
And then a thought occurs to you. And a memory that you haven't thought of and that maybe you as the player don't remember, but I'm guessing you will. A memory of you coming to another door in another place in another life. Matter of fact, several lifetimes ago. Possibly the first or second time you've transitioned from the astral to the prime material plane. And on this door, you see a bunch of words appear in many languages. And in every language that you can read, it says, "Do not open unless it is death that you seek."
I remember that door. Oh, yeah. I think I opened it last time too. I'm not gonna open it. Shit, I don't know what to do.
Okay, you guys hear that? You hear Bart actually scratch his head and say, "Shit,
Can we
I don't
just
know what
walk
to do."
past all this? Cop, is
Yes?
it possible to walk past all these?
You could,
These are guns for
you
points.
could climb under the coins where they don't match up, if that's something you wanted to do. But I mean, you've been told about what the point is of all these, so
Alright, Michael's gonna,
I tell them what I see on the door.
he's gonna dig in his pocket a spare copper and place it against the big copper piece.
okay, you do that, and you see the coin disappear.
Michael, the big copper piece disappears or my copper piece disappears?
Both.
Well, let's go.
I'll put a silver and a gold on each of the other ones.
And they both disappear. And then, Bart, you see the door, the writing disappears, and it clicks as if someone unlocked it from the other side.
It's a toll booth.
What's a toll booth?
Out in the mines, if you want to go to a richer guy's part of the line, you gotta pay a fee.
What do you all do now?
We'll go open the door, I suppose.
Who opens the door?
That's
Not
okay.
me.
That's okay. We don't have to. I can appreciate the trepidation, but you guys passed the test. So the door is opened and you stride right through. And then the door disappears once the last of you goes through. And then you hear loud trumpets blare.
Oh, we made it through the maze.
And as you continue to walk, you see the end of the maze. And it opens into a beautiful meadow with manicured grass and trees. And the path leads up to a gathering of wonderful fairies and all manner of assorted creatures, centaurs and hippogriffs, and even a manticore with dreadlocks.
That would be a Montecore. Sorry.
And what do you all do?
Approach.
Yep.
Does anyone do anything before entering into the court of the queen?
I'm going to try to tidy up a little bit, straighten my clothes and stuff. Make it seem a little more presentable.
I will cast cleanse.
Uh-oh. All right, roll that d20.
I'll be right back. Just give me a moment.
Stick.
I was already nice and clean. I haven't gotten dirty.
You rolled a 16 again?
It's like D16 and the dice is stuck.
Okay. The spell goes off. There are no, I don't think there's any effects for levels on that, so you're just extra clean.
His beard becomes uncrinkled and straightened and nice and pretty, and his bows straighten, and his metal becomes shiny, and his shoes become properly tied again.
Very nice. Okay. So you follow the path. As you look to your left and your right, you can see it's like an outdoor banquet. There's tables full of trays of food and beverages, and you see cow people and cat people and a giant slug. You see a Dalmatian riding on a turtle, and the Dalmatian going, whee!
Sounds like a lot of Bosch painted.
Kazoo type. And then you see the trumpeters off to your right. And as you look forward, you see a semicircle, very much reminding you of the semicircle of stones when you went to see Helios. And sitting on her throne in the back of this half circle of white crystal stones, you see the queen of the fairies, Titania, dressed in a red and gold dress with red shoes and a long flowing cape that is draped off the edge of her throne, surrounded by several guards of various fairy statures. Tamark has his hand up.
Does she look like that flower that turned into the girl when she turned the flower that turned into the girl?
No. Titania is much more attractive and regular size than the flower.
Brad's on the move.
I will take a courtly egg.
A lizard man dressed in a tuxedo approaches you all and says, Come, the queen has been made aware. She looks forward to congratulating you and granting your boon on making it through the maze. You have done well. You should be proud of yourselves. And as you all follow him up, you see people starting to look and point, and Brad has left the call. All right. And on your right, you can see a group of butterflies playing instruments in a low, soft melody, very unobtrusive to the proceedings. And you are led up to about 20 foot away from the queen, who has these beautiful black eyes with red pupils, long black curly hair extending down the back, many rings on her fingers, and several large jeweled necklaces around her neck. She's in white face with red lips and a mole painted on her left cheek.
So I'm going to do a flamboyant bow to her.
Okay.
Once we get up there.
I will do a bow and say, Hello, Dome. Yes, but
Clark, I bet you what you had to say was cool, but I couldn't hear you because I think Brad's moving around and it's blocking your transmission.
I said, I'm going to do them. Yes, export. And that means your beauty's unrivaled. You want me to share this head for me.
She inclines her head in acknowledgement to you all. A gentleman who looks to be pretty much just human, wearing a doublet and hose, striped black and gray, a large bracelet on his left arm, pointy black shoes, his hair thinning but combed straight back. He says, "Welcome, travelers, to the court of Titania, the fairy queen of the Sealy court. Her Majesty welcomes you and congratulates you on your successful journey through her maze of ideas. She will grant you the opportunity to request of her or engage her in storytelling. You may take as long as you wish or as little time as you wish. But understand that your success through the maze is what has earned you this opportunity. Please do not squander it. And to make things fair, she will pick, and then the Dungeon Master will ask all of you to make charisma checks, and I will roll for Bart since he is on the road going somewhere. Bart got a 28. So then we will go to Shadrach.
33.
And then we will go to Tamar.
You said charisma check, right?
I did.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
You didn't roll a 1, did you? Okay. And then Pyko.
25, because I have a loaded die.
Well, Shadrach is the winner. So he says, and she has chosen you, and points to Shadrach, to have the opportunity to speak first.
Let me know when I can start.
The floor is yours.
Well, that was to the DM. I wasn't saying that.
Yeah, the little Herald guy, that's what he says.
Shadrach steps forward, goes down on one knee, not on both, and without taking up time, unless you want me to actually go on, Shadrach will tell his tale of how he came to where he is now, but most of all, he will tell of how he fell in love with Finessa and looks forward to finding her once again, because that's where the only happiness he's ever known lies. But he will tell his story of how his people were destroyed, the witches, but he kind of goes over the rest of it and then talks about Vanessa and speaks of his love for the big giant green woman whose heart and soul were more beautiful than her flesh.
Okay. All right, and then he says, "Noble elf, are you able to speak at this time?" And he says no. Okay, then we'll skip him. And we will go to
Emerald Kingdom Drip.
Master Craftsman, it is your turn.
If I may indulge you, I would like to know of a metal that only exists here. And I might obtain some before I leave.
She inclines her head and does this motion, which means continue.
Well, I was asking you, I can either tell a story, or she can tell me.
I don't know what metal you're talking about. The Dungeon Master has no idea.
I don't know. No, I was just saying. I was asking her if there was if she could tell me of a metal that exists here but doesn't exist anywhere else. I'm looking for a unique metal.
I see.
I'm just seeing if there is.
She says, and this is the first time you all have heard her speak. She says, there are many unique things to this realm.
No, I don't.
I could say there are countless things here that you will only find and nowhere else. Tell me, can you be more specific?
Well, I wish they for a purpose of all the metal to enchant, to destroy the great evil. And I would think that the magic of this place would greatly aid my chances.
Ed?
There's nothing there for you. Yep.
This realm is very sympathetic. Things can come into being that we want, and things can be willed out of existence if you're strong enough. If you really want something, all you have to do is believe.
Right. He tries, he closes his eyes, he holds out his palms, he clicks his heels together, and says, there's no place like the Fae. There's no place like the Fae.
An ingot of some type of metal appears at your feet.
And he bows to the queen and thanks her. Picks up the metal, puts it in his bag.
Dan, you had your hand up?
Yeah, well, when she said that, I'm going to think of something the same, except I'm thinking of a suit of armor that would be made out of like wood or something that would be better than what I have, that would help me remain hidden through the woods, and see if that works as well.
She turns to you, and as you are sitting there thinking, she says, "It is your turn to speak."
Alright, I stop. Is there
That's fine.
something that you could give me or that I could will into being as the dwarf did to help me on our quest to protect the stone? Something that would protect me or help me fight and destroy this evil so that it can't destroy the world or the universe or the realms with such power from the stone.
She smiles and she says, "You all never fail to amuse me. And appearing at your feet is a cloak."
I take the cloak up and I thank you, Queen. And I kneel. And I get up and I put it on.
I was under the impression that you all were coming here to request that I send you back to whence you were from. But I see that the moment that greed is allowed to enter your hearts, you quickly toss away that original thought. It is why you will get what you deserve. Brad, are you wanting to say something?
Huh?
Are you wanting to say something?
Yeah. I told her, especially I was asking he sent home. But if you need a story first, I'll tell you what. We have important things to do back home, and I'm afraid we're wasting time that we don't have. Can you hear me?
Yeah. She says you have as much time as you need. I fear, though, that your friends, dear Bart, will make your task infinitely more difficult.
Who's that, Shad?
I didn't ask for nothing. I told a story.
Boom. For the maze.
How are you making my task more difficult?
My intentions are not altruistic.
My intentions are not altruistic?
No, like self-interest, but to help all.
I'm not the one asking for gifts. Spare me your self-righteous BS.
Okay, I may be wrong, but I don't think Clark was talking about Shadrach. I think he was attempting to justify his asking for things rather than asking for a way home.
Ah, okay, my bad.
That's what I understood him to be trying to do.
Yeah.
Is that correct, Clark?
But
Clark, we can't hear you. There's something else blocking your transmission. You gotta either come up with some headphones or something.
Mute yourself, Brad.
Go ahead, Clark.
I'll be back 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead, Clark.
Oh, no, I just thought this was separate from the other thing. I thought this was for going through the maze, but that was where my confusion was, apparently.
Well,
I thought you were saying Chad was being non-altruistic or something. I didn't quite understand what you said.
It wasn't about selfishness in my head. It was just about hating the not getting the world destroyed thing.
I think what we need to establish here is that the Dungeon Master is playing an entity who may or may not be chaotic, a queen, in charge of what she oversees. Her thoughts might be different and not even comprehensible by regular mortals. So even if you think something should be obvious by the way you're playing it, doesn't mean that this NPC doesn't see it differently. So just bear that in mind whenever someone does not always get the idea that you're trying to get across without actually you saying it.
Yeah, I thought you were criticizing Shad for something, and I couldn't figure out what it was.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Clark is not wrong. If in his heart that's what he thought, that's fine, but she has not yet shown an ability to read minds. So it all depends on what your character says is what the other NPCs would base their reactions upon. So
Shad has seen Pykel and Kmart both receive gifts that they asked for.
that certainly appears that way.
All right. Shadrach says nothing. And remains down on his one knee unless he was stepping back or something. So.
Okay. So she has she has a look of disdain, and then she tells her face lightens when she looks upon Shadrach, and she says, "Arise, initiate."
My lady.
Your story has moved me in ways that I could not describe. Think of what may I do in return for that piece of your life. And if it is within my power, I shall make it so.
I only wish to return to the world where I came from, and I'm sure my friends would like to join me. So if you could send us all back to where we were, hopefully at the moment or without the passage of time, I would deeply appreciate that, and I am in your debt.
says your friends are lucky to have you in their life. Arise and come forward, all four of you.
I move forward.
As you.
Because of our ancient and concurrent agreement to keep the artifact away from its master,
Okay.
I honor you all. Now go. And all she does is move her hands like this. And you all are right back in a forest with a giant coming at you.
Shit.
Now, is the spell
That's what Shad wanted.
Yeah, as long as they got the egg, we're cool.
if there's no back time?
Pykel, appearing, coming out of your bag, you see a brown and silver rock climb out of your sack and form into a five-foot-long double-bladed axe. And it's in your mind you hear dying times here.
Times here?
Dying time. And just then you hear the giants coming through the forest. Apparently the spell that you had cast before is not active. Tamar, you find yourself with this cloak on. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to try to move out of the way of the giant and pull my blowgun. And when it gets into range, I'm going to try to dose it with the heaviest dose I can. So when it gets into range, I can fire at it.
One
All
thing's
right.
for sure, Tamar, you blow.
Shadrach, do you want to do anything?
How far away is the giant?
40 feet, 8 squares.
40 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 steps.
I'm casting.
And last but not least, Prince Bart. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Casting.
All right.
I have a quick question, Cop.
Yes?
Is there still mud on the ground? And is there still forest in the air? Or the
Remember, I cast
entanglement?
plant growth, or did it go off?
All right, so the spells that you had cast previously, those are gone.
Okay.
And it is 8 o'clock, and we will pick up in 2 weeks with a giant fight. Pykel, you should add a two-handed axe to your inventory with the name of Dying Time.
The giant killer.
Tamark, you should add a cloak of protection to your inventory.
Now, was that the ingot I collected?
If I didn't describe it well enough for you to know that, I apologize. Yes, the ingot climbed out of your sack, had little legs, and then changed into this axe.
Alright. I had plans for that. Alright. Alright.
Bless you.
Yeah.
And Tamark, you have a cloak of protection, and I can't tell you exactly what bonus it gives you because that spoils the fun. So,
I'm okay with the
but you will figure it out because you will be able to do math at some point, and you'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right. So, Clark, have a good time on your trip.
I won't tell you about it. Stays in Vegas.
That's true. Don't reveal anything. Are you going by yourself? Are you taking your wife, or?
My wife's friend has like a $500,000 home out there with a pool right near the strip. Her husband works at one of the casinos as an IT security manager. We're gonna see if
The Grand Canyon's not far away. You can make a day trip to the Grand Canyon.
thinking about going to see Lake Powell while it's still a lake and before it's a pond.
You can also go to Lake Mead.
What's left of
Yeah,
it?
it's low.
Yeah. The pond, you made pond meat?
Maybe you'll find more. Maybe you'll find more skeletons down as it keeps draining.
Yeah, so that, I see what it said. So I said, go see that lake.
Shadrach.
Clark, just come see the desert, Clark. It's worth it.
Shadrach.
Okay.
You may put this little notation, if you would, on your sheet.
I'm doing so.
You find yourself with a amulet on a leather piece around your neck, and you feel like this is some kind of personal gift from the Fairy Queen, and it will have to be discovered or researched or played out over time. But you realize that you didn't have it before, and this seems to be something important. And Bart,
Yeah, not a rock.
you are given this information. You realize that you have died 5 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you realize that there is another you in existence. On this plane, and it's not an evil you, it's the you that could have been if you had made different choices.
Okay.
And that you can do with that information what you wish. But that is the you. Hold on. And the reason that that's important, you're like, who gives a fuck? The reason that's important is because you realize that other you is Aluna's father.
Yeah. I had a feeling already. Mm-hmm.
And so you may, like I said, do with that information what you will.
Okay.
And so that is it for tonight's episode. I appreciate you all understanding that vacation's coming and we will not be gaming next week. And do anyone have any final words they would like to say before we reconvene?
Are you coming to Florida?
I am not coming. I'm going to Chicago.
Oh my God! Take a bulletproof vest.
Well, we're not going so much downtown as we are like west. So
I better go downtown.
the chances of crime are always there, but we're going where there's less of a chance of it.
Don't don't mess with the bums. Don't
Chicago's only.
No, we're like I said, we're going west, Schaumburg, medieval times, and the Brookfield Zoo and Crystal
Oh, cool,
Lake.
yeah, that's a nice area up there.
Little town of Woodstock is where my sister lives, so that'll be fun. Just nice
All
to
right,
get
you guys all enjoy yourself.
nice to get the fuck out of Missouri for a little bit. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
Come to Missouri.
Well, thank you, and
Oh, get
we'll
the fuck out of Florida.
yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks, everybody. Be good.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Love you too.
All right.
Bye. And thanks for watching, Internet. We're done. I know it was a short one, but sometimes it just be that way.